lot of points, but usually it's enough. And Odikadze earns the bronze medal at 97.
It's Europe champion, world champion, and Olympic
The arena's
champion.
shaking a little bit because a tank has arrived. The Russian tank, one of the biggest stars in the sport, has made his way onto the platform. Abdul Rashid Sadulaev, reigning world champion, Olympic champion, ransacked the competition in his return from an injury that has cost him a lot of time in 2019. Trying to pull off the upset in the opposite corner. It's Alexander HUSHTYN, the 25-year-old from Belarus. So here we go. The title bout at 97. Sadulaev in the red for Russia. HUSHTYN in the gray, the dark gray and blue stripe for Belarus. What has stood out to you watching Sadulaev in his return from injury through his first 3 bouts?
I talked about the weight, significantly bigger than he was when he was coming up from 92 kilos, and the word prior to Budapest was he weighed right around 94 kilos. So in between 92 and 97, but here he looks all of 97 kilos and he looks healthy. I don't know how bad the injury was. He did sit out of the Ivania Regan and the World Cup, but he didn't have to compete in those because he did have the 60 first place ranking series points, and he was just allowing Snyder to come back up and try and reach his 60 points, but he's changing levels well. He's changing directions well. So if he had a knee injury, it is 100% healthy.
He has easily picked up wins against his first 3 opponents en route to this championship. He's outscored them 27-2.
And he just makes it look easy. It looks effortless to him.
Action blue.
That's how it certainly looked last year in Budapest. As he made his run to the World Championship, he outscored his 4 opponents on the way by a combined 45-3 count before that pin of Kyle Snyder in the world title match. And I thought United World Wrestling did a terrific piece on him. You can find on the webpage documenting his marriage during the offseason and his strength and how much that win against Snyder meant for him and his career to get back on top. And people are already talking about September and another matchup there. All right, a little bit of a controversy here as they give HUSHTYN the 1 point. You saw the chairman go red 1, but it's the 2 that give the blue 1. So HUSHTYN with a 1-0 lead 2 minutes into this first period.
Yeah, and that piece you're talking about, Abdul Rashid Sadulaev, titled "The Russian Tank," just thanks to the Russian Wrestling, their head journalist Tigran Ivanyan, for helping us out and getting in contact with Sadulaev. Just if you haven't seen it, it goes through why he started wrestling and what wrestling has done for him and the ups and downs through his career en route to his 3 world and Olympic title.
Look at Sadulaev. I think that knee is healthy. That is an example of maybe why people call him the greatest wrestler right now at this moment on the planet Earth. Did you see the mobility and the ability to get 2 right there? Absolutely beautiful.
Like a gyroscope. Knew where his hips were at all times, stayed composed, but more importantly, he knew where he was on the out-of-bounds line to pick up. He stayed in bounds, came back to his right to pick up that takedown.
Blue zone.
Another point for Sadulaev, and he'll go up 3-1 on the step out by HUSHTYN. The Belarusian won gold at Medved last year, took silver at these Europeans. He was a bronze at the International Ukrainian. So he is a tough customer, and he's battled through the first 3 minutes. Situation 9 out of 10 times he has the lead at the end of the first period, but he's wrestling that guy right there who can turn the tables on you quickly, and all of a sudden you're thinking, I got a sure 2 to giving up 2 in the lead.
And now for HUSHTYN heading into period number 2. Not sure what they're doing there with the singlet. It looked like a little tangle on SADULAEV's singlet, but
Center.
for HUSHTYN, SADULAEV wants his opponents to be in that underhook so he can get that release slide by.
Okay.
Keeps his elbow tucked to his hip so tight and picks up offense from that. So now if you're HUSHTYN, look to get to a pull, look to get to a 2-on-1. Anything outside of an underhook is what it's going to have to be here in period number 2 if you want to pick up your takedown.
SADULAEV with the underhook with his right arm. HUSHTYN able to break clear of that. Second and final period, 3-1. SADULAEV with the lead. Goes right back to that underhook.
Zone blue. Blue action. Action blue. Blue contact.
And I'll tell you what was one of the coolest things I've seen throughout my career was
Blue contact.
Olympic champion SADULAEV versus Olympic champion Sharifov wrestling in Dagestan last year at the European Championships, closing out the European Championships for freestyle. Of course, SADULAEV from Dagestan. And to see that just brought the fans to their feet. And
Action blue.
during his match, they were doing the wave, and they kept it going for nearly 6 minutes. It was impressive.
And ironically, it will be the final time he would wrestle at 92 kilos last year, winning these European Championships before moving up to 97. And he did it in style in front of a fan base that absolutely adores him. HUSHTYN hanging tough, still in this, down 2, but got to find a way to try to get some offense dialed up. 40 seconds, final period.
And it's going to take more than one. HUSHTYN has to start to look for chain opportunities. You can't just expect to get to one shot and take SADULAEV down. It's going to have to be 1, 2, 3 shots if he wants to be successful in taking down the tank here.
Time to roll the die a little bit. That mental clock in your head starts counting. 20 seconds. You see him look over at the clock. He knows it's now or never. Let's see what he's going to try to bring in. Nothing there. And now a whistle and a stoppage.
No finger.
SADULAEV gets warned for the fingers. 10 seconds to go. HUSHTYN searching, trying to find any type of extremity. Not happening. And for the second straight year, SADULAEV has done it. A successful return from a leg injury that has cost him a lot of time. Had his offense slowed down in this one. It was that defensive maneuver late in the first period that proves to be the difference, where he turned the tables on HUSHTYN. But a 3-1 European Championship for Abdul Rashid SADULAEV.